So I have a question.
Yes.
Since you have so many traits that have been carried over from your past life, can other people begin to figure out their past lives by really looking at their childhood and what traits they had that just don't make sense to them?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, people don't really look for these things. They don't know. They just think that who they are and what they are is their own perception. They think this is just them.
And they don't listen to their children either.
Too. No, they don't listen to their children. And this is also, I have to say, one of the reasons I am making so much of this public is because I think the children that are being born today are at such an amazing crossroads. And I don't have any. Again, in this lifetime, that is not my path. You know, I belong to millions of people. I always have. And so I will, and continue to do so. And I have just yet begun to come out to the world. So I do believe that at some point very soon, that will become also the same as it's always been, in its form that it wants to take. Because I am not blocking it, I'm not stopping it, and I think children that are out and about, and the people that are ready to discuss, and the people that have come into my life already, and the people that want to come into my life, and the people that will be approaching me in the future, the children of the future are very much at a crossroads. They're either zombied out, they're completely glued to video games and
fast food,
stimulation of things that are not internally based. Capture that. So, you know, people are amazing. They're amazing creatures with gifts that they don't look at. I wanted to say before is that people don't look into who they were or who their kids could have been or anything because they're so egocentrically identified. They're so selfish. They don't think this could be the soul of something before that's past, you know, what are these traces? And children sometimes say things that are out of this world, and those are like direct cues and clues. But everybody's so focused, like I said, externally stimulated, constantly. I mean, look what we have here just on Hollywood Boulevard now as compared to back when. But back when, and even in this life, like I said, which wasn't so long ago, it was about finding things within that would stimulate you. You know, you see movies, you see things that get you inspired to do certain things that awaken.
Bring back remembrances.
Remembrances. Now, to know that I was experiencing my whole beginning of my life and my continued life as this person who's been famous forever and who's had to deal with some of the internal conflicts and the things I have experienced. Knowing this reality only as my own reality, not knowing anything about last lives, not knowing who this person was, just knowing what I woke up to every single day as me. And later on, one day, here's these resonances of this person's feelings and their perception, and I'm looking and I'm remembering things, and I start putting things together. Like, I'd hear things, or somebody would say something, or voila, an interview would come up, or somebody would give me something. This is the most of how I started finding it out, besides my own perceptions, is starting putting two and two together. And I'd push it down, push it down, push it down. And in fact, I remember when it got so intense, when it was heating up to the fact that there was no question, no doubt. In fact, everyone around me who was having resurgences of strange shit happening to them in connection with me, as you know, that you're on this project, these things now start happening to you. And I would have people say to me, you know that there is no doubt. And I'd say, you know, but still, like, I would look for ways out. I would look for ways, just hoping somebody would come out and just claim it, and so I could just kind of hide again. I really did not want to come forth with any of this. I did not want to deal with it. I didn't want the responsibility of it. And yet here I'm doing simple things, and that responsibility is happening no matter what. People are reacting to me a certain way all the time. You know, when I go into a room, I have an effect on people without even trying. I could have nothing on. My face.
Well, that would definitely have an effect.
Yeah, I prefer that. Okay. You know, and just go about my business. And whatever the effect is that I apparently have on people is something I always just put toward, you know, thinking it was just, you know, that I have a very strong aura because I meditate and I do things. But then I started realizing, no, that's true. I always it's been so normal for me my whole life that I didn't think much of it. I didn't think much of it until I look back and go, whoa, that is not normal. I'd have people sitting out in front of my place all the time waiting for me to come home so they could talk to me.
That's not normal.
No, it's not normal. But this is, I reacted to it normally because this was just,
it's how you grew up.
This is so normal. Yes, yes. So, just something kind of clicked into place one day and I realized that energy is my energy. That's still me. That's me. This is, oh my gosh, you know. I started feeling like, oh, whoa, this could get really trippy right now when I'm about to start to feel, and it just kept getting stronger and stronger, and it's like the video camera just keeps rolling, and it's like scene after scene, and, you know, I'm just watching it happen, and I'm a bystander as well as the person living it, and so I get to, yeah.
So you finally have accepted it completely.
Oh, yeah, I've totally accepted it. I mean, for the last 10 years, I'd let it reach certain peaks and stuff, and then kind of try to go back and hide and just kind of blow it all off. Well, maybe that was just, what? Just what? So you have to, you know, as a meditator and as somebody who's a very conscious living being, I pick everything apart. I don't care if it's me or if it's somebody else, you know that.
I know it very well.
I pick everything apart, and I'm no exception. I pick myself harder apart than anybody else. So if I pick your ass apart, you know it's because I picked through my shit and found nuts. No, I'm kidding. The size of your head. No kidding. Because that's just how it is. Anybody who really knows me knows that. So I don't ever, you know, play it safe with myself. I'm very hard on myself. I'm an extreme perfectionist, and a lot of times I haven't done some of the things that I could be doing because it's not ready yet. It's not perfect enough yet. And I've had people go, oh my God, it can't get any better, or this can't just, you know. And then I just found this out recently that this was an issue in my last life. So this helped me realize so many things. This is just the other day I found this out.
Whoa.
And I thought, wow, so this stuff just keeps coming. And so, I was going to say something else. Oh, so walking into a room, this was an experiment that was happening all the time, in New York especially. My close friend at the time, partner of mine in a creative project, was, and another thing, apparently, you know, I've always needed to walk around. I always want to have somebody with me, a coach or this or that. Yeah, on some level, protection, and yeah, on some level, to keep identifying, you know, with reality, because it's such an intense feeling that you know, you just like to be in a very grounded position. To have somebody to constantly be bringing it back and forth to is a very healthy thing. So I've noticed how I've carried that over into this life, and that, okay, for instance, in my music, everyone's always wanted me solo. All fans and wonderful beings that I love you so much that have written for so long, people that have formed a very interesting underground love, very mutual love for some of the previous projects I've been in, some of the bands that I've created, have all been band-wise, and I've had people requesting and wanting to see me only solo, but I've always needed to have band members with me. I've always just felt right having a crew. I just feel this camaraderie, like with people having a teamwork set up, and even though I've had managers and everybody tell me, they want you, they don't want the rest of the band, and I've cut so many things off because I like the feeling of having, you know, people. So that's another thing that I'm finding out.
That's interesting.
About my need and want to always have coaches or certain people that just...
That would almost sound like an insecurity, but you're not insecure at
this
all.
This is how people took it in the last, exactly, in the last time around they took that as that, but no, it's a form of...
protection?
It's protection on some level, sure. It's protection, it's grounding, it's staying in the moment, it's staying there. It just, I don't know, I like the feeling. I just like, maybe it was because I didn't have a family before, and this time in my life I felt that I didn't sort of have a family, even though I had one. Like, where do these feelings come from?